Welcome everybody to this probably final installment of the tutorial series for the full game kit Operation Desert Road. Today we're going to talk about the level editor, creating your own missions for the game, which is probably something you really want to do. So let's see what else we have in store. So lots to do again. Let's get started. Alright, the first thing I want to show you is a scene I created before I started recording the video. Here it is. This is not included in the package, it's just a new scene. I've added all the prefabs we made earlier. I've added to the scene, and as you can see, it also contains some new objects we didn't get around to. So it now contains all the objects that were on the sprite sheet. I see there's still one missing. I'll drag it in there now. It's the logo. Alright, there it is. It still needs rotating. I'll rotate that. And I might just want to have it a little bit bigger. Alright, apply. So the reason why you would want such a scene is that it's much easier to compare the prefabs to each other. So looking at how high they are, how big they are. But of course it's also easy to make some last minute changes to the scripts. I went over all the pivots again. So the pivots now are hopefully all as we want them. This will really help out later when we start editing our missions, our levels. Yeah, I think for the drone, which should have tank-like behavior, I found out that if we disable use gravity, it might not fall to the ground, which you might have noticed earlier that when we ran the game, it was driving across the floor, which we don't want. So you can just untick this one. Hopefully it will now work as we intended with the pivot here. I think for the energy ball projectile, this is the projectile we're using, I changed the damage to 1. And the reason why I did that is because it's easier for me to determine the lives or the health of the other objects when I know that my default weapon is damaging by a factor 1. So I could easily say, hey, this bush should have like 1 health or 1 life, and it's automatically destroyed by a fireball. And this tree you have to hit 5 times, etc, etc, etc. If my default projectile would have like a damage of 10 or 20 or 15, it would be much harder to calculate how many times you would have to hit it. So I thought, well, okay, let's just reset that, and now it's easier. I also went over all the scores, or almost all the scores, which is also of course a good thing to do, to give every enemy and everything you shoot a score. Yeah, I changed a little thing here, which is in the max offset. This is a variable that is used to determine how far the player can stray from the center. I changed this from 24 to 10,000, and that's because when auto move forward is disabled, it actually uses this value to determine how far you can go into the level. So when I was testing, I suddenly noticed that I couldn't move very far ahead, and because it was capped by this variable. So I changed that just for testing. So probably when I create levels larger than this, I will run into trouble again. Let me just see. Oh yeah, I'm still having some trouble with the colliding into these buildings, or like the mammoth and the robot, which have the building script. So hopefully this is fixed now. I added the box collider. I think this is also added at runtime if it's not there, and it adds a mesh collider, which didn't seem to work that good. I'm not sure why, maybe because I scaled it, and we still have to double check if everything is working okay. And I also noticed that when, of course, as you know, I have die on collision on, and also for the robot, so that means automatically you die or you go, it's game over when you run into one of these. And I noticed that it doesn't work properly, and we'll probably have that fixed when you don't have auto move forward enabled for the player. So when auto move forward is disabled and you try to run into the mammoth, you don't instantly die. It only works when auto move forward is on for now. We might change that. Alright, let's see. I also added some other objects. I'll just enable those because I had them disabled. As you can see, I have a background. I have the green field with the checkers, which is the background we'll be using, and I also have a reference object. And this is a reference to easily see how high the player will fly and what the movement of the player will be. As I explained before, the checkers, or the big checkers, are 4 by 4 meters. So if we're going to be able to fly, and we're flying in the air, the player will also with every step move 4 meters up in the air. So as you've already spotted, I think, he will move from here, this location, to this location, to that location, and you will fly far too high and will probably never get on the correct level to shoot some of the things, and you will never run into them. So that will probably be a problem, I was thinking. And I already, of course, spotted it while creating the earlier tutorial. So there's some stuff we could do, and you have to decide for yourself what fits best for your game. Of course, you can like move the pivots or move the objects. For instance, this is a flying, like a cloud rock, which you can run into. You can of course move them to be higher, but I was thinking then all the relative scales in the game would be gone, and I have to do that for a lot of things. So I thought it would probably be easier, because it looks pretty okay as it is now. It would probably be easier to have the player for now move smaller steps up into the air. So these hops of 4 could better be hops of 2. So I tried that and it works a bit better for now. Of course, if you want to get this correctly, you have to really neatly align everything on steps of 2 or 4 exactly, and this is mostly done by hand in the voxel editor. But as you can already see, let's just pretend that oh no, maybe we can just half size this thing and then just see how that would work. We'll just have to scale the Y, I think, like by half. And you can already see that now when I select the player, where is the player? Yeah, here it is. You could see I could actually run into this cloud when I went up 1 step, and when I went up 2 steps, I might even be able to fly over it. So that's about right. And the same goes for like this stone head. Well, we intend to be able to run into it, or he should be able to shoot you. And now when you're flying in the center of the screen, he can. Or when you're flying like 1 step higher, he can shoot you. So for now, I think this works best. But to make it work, I still have to, let's just reset the player. I'll still have to adjust this in the step offset. So I have to say, okay, I'm in the Y direction, I'm moving 2 meters. Well, just see if this works. Hopefully this works better. So this is the steps you can make, steps, 4 meter steps, and this is how far you can stray off the center. I think stray off the center, or maybe it's a total. I'm not sure. So if this is 12 is the max, you would think you can do like 6 steps up. Maybe a bit much. We'll have to constrain this, I think. But we'll get to that later when we're tweaking stuff. Alright, I can just apply that. So let's move on to creating a proper test mission. So next I want to take a look at some of the blocks that are being used as chunks of background. You've already spotted that we changed the texture from a sandy environment to a more grassy green environment in an earlier tutorial. And now I want to take a look at the 3D objects and the prefab objects that make up these chunks. These are located inside the resources folder in the prefabs directory in blocks. Here we have some of the prefabs. Most of them just contain a plane with the texture applied. So let's take a quick look at the texture we replaced earlier. Where can we do that? Here it is. Maybe I can just open it. And as you can see, this is the texture that is used for all of the blocks inside the game. So this block, which is called Desert Block 1, is mapped on this chunk of the texture. So as you can guess, this one is the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and so forth. We'll see that later on. It's very important to know. So I created a mission that could be all green, a mission that could be snow and water, a lot of gray blocks and some sandy blocks. And you can probably see that here in the preview window, which is very small. I'll try to make it a bit bigger. You can see it as well, that all the blocks are numbered accordingly. What you can also see, and I'm not sure why that was that some of these blocks contain some foliage already. I think that might have something to do with that some of these palm trees aren't really destructibles and they're just decorative. So some of the decoration you could already have inside this block. But keep in mind that most of the objects on the block we're going to be positioning using the level editor, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So for now it may even be best to remove those palm trees, but maybe we'll just do it later on. I'm not sure. I think I already deleted some of the objects that were on the first block. Oh, sorry. So you might want to do that as well. Next we'll be taking a look at the level editor that's included in the package. The first thing we want to do is go to the campaign editor scene. Well, this is an empty scene. There's nothing on here, not even on the camera, as you can see. So if it's just a placeholder scene that will keep all of our temporary objects that are being created. So first open this scene, open the campaign editor scene, then go to Window, Operation Desert Road, Campaign Editor, and then you will get this window, which is the campaign editor. You also saw the lighting change. That's a good way to notice you've opened it as well. The first thing we need to do is create one new block for our first mission. So we'll just click New Block Data. So what this campaign editor actually does, just so you understand, is not create real meshes or objects or textures or whatever. It just creates data. It creates data that will be saved here inside the resources in the data folder. So we're not creating prefabs, we're not creating any of that, just data files. Very important. First thing I need to do when I create a new block, I just click New Block Data, is select a block prefab. When I click this, I will get an overview of the blocks the campaign editor can find inside our resources. So it will probably be scanning, I don't know the inner workings, but it probably scans this directory. If you're missing blocks here, you might want to re-import. and then this is updated and you'll see hopefully all the blocks. Well, the block I want to be using right now is the first block, desert block 1 it's called. Of course we know it's no desert, so we can use this prefab, and this is a bit hard to understand. Maybe we could use this prefab as a background for more than one block data file. I'm going to show you that in a bit. Now we have this background selected. I'm going to take a look at it. As you can see, the Z direction is into the screen, so this will be about the view we're having. As you can see, we have these helper lines which give some sort of limit. If you're building stuff here, you probably won't reach it, or here. So we're moving like in that direction, and now I'm going to place my entities, my prefabs that I created earlier. I'm going to place them on the block. So first, let's just go through all the categories. The destructibles, as you can see, there's probably some, I need to re-import some stuff. I'll just quickly show you again how that's done. Re-import. Alright. Oh, we don't have that much destructibles. And we'll probably only be using the ones we created. So here we have a cloud. We're going to place one. It's going to be a test level, I think. So we'll just place a couple of everything. It's automatically snapping to grid, as you can see, which is very handy. We're going to place some rocks. Alright, there you go. So now we're going to go through every category, placing one of each. So okay, we're pretty much done for now. I think we have most of the stuff we created. So I'm going to save that block, and keep in mind I'm only saving the data. I'm not grabbing this and putting it into a package. I'm just saving the data, and I'm saving it inside the desert folder because it has all the other blocks saved there as well. You see, I already have some created earlier. Hopefully I don't get confused. I'm going to call it Voxel Harrier Test. So this will be our test block that contains everything. Alright, I saved it. There you go. Next up, and I recommend you always keep this order in creating the missions. We go to the missions. We're going to create a new mission data. You see everything is reset. The whole thing is reloaded, so okay. The name will be Voxel Harrier Tests Stage Test. I hope I don't have one called this already. Test tutorial. I'm pretty sure I don't have that already. Number, I think you can disregard that. Maybe it automatically creates a suffix. For now, that's all you need to do. Now, here below, this is the important part, I need to add blocks. So I'm adding the block that I created just now, which is called Voxel Harrier Test. So here you see that it put down one of the blocks automatically, added the finish line and duplicating the block, because otherwise you would drop into infinity if there was nothing there. So it automatically adds another block. Which okay, but I think I'm going to add another one just to make sure there's enough testing room, and maybe I'm adding another one. Alright, so this will give us hopefully plenty of room to play around. I'm saving this. Don't forget to save it as Voxel Harrier Test Tutorial. Alright, there it is. Now I'm moving on to the next tab, which is level. I'm creating new level data. I could press generate a name, maybe it works. Quick and dirty, okay. Let's just call it Voxel Harrier tutorial level. No, test level. And this mission will contain, or sorry, this level will contain the how did we call it, the Voxel Harrier test tutorial mission. So we have a level that contains missions, and missions contain blocks. I hope this makes sense to you. Voxel Harrier test level. Okay, that's the exact name. I need to remember that. To test the level, I first need to close the campaign editor, and as you can see, the Unity automatically, on the closure of the level editor panel, it loaded automatically the game scene. So I'm ready for testing. But first I need to make sure that my level, the level I created, the data, is actually being used. So I need to go to the game script, and all the way down in campaign data I have to be sure this is clicked, make sure, and then I'm adding the name of my level, the level I just created, called Voxel Harrier test level. There you go. So as you can see, everything is listed here as well. So I can save this, and now hopefully if I run the game I can see all my stuff in action. I was telling you that I was muting the audio again because we don't need that for now. So here's me. As you can see, there's plenty of the stuff we placed. So what I can do now is just go through my level and test if everything is reacting the way I want it to and is looking the way I want it to. So I'll just be trying to kill this and just to tweak and to see if it dies early enough. I'm just checking my... Here, as you can see, I'm still shooting underneath it, and for the testing I have the vertical movement disabled, so I can just see what happens when I enable it again. I can do that at runtime. I can just say, okay, I want to be able to... Well, where is it? Move in XY plane again. So I'll check it in the scene view as well, so you can see what is going on. Alright, so now, yeah, chances are I'm being hit. But I can also hit the stone turret, so the stone head turret, so that's okay. And it spawns the bomb, just as we agreed. But now, as you know, I cannot move forward, so I could enable auto move forward just to get a sense of the action again. So let's do that. Alright, there we are, shooting and everything. I see a little localization problem arising. And it's already looking a bit better than it did in the previous tutorial, because it has all of our own stuff in it and not palm trees and desert buildings, but a lot of our own stuff. How cool is that? Alright, now we have that set up. I want to try creating a couple of more missions and see if we can progress between them. So when we're mission complete for the first mission, if we can go automatically to the second mission. But first I need to create some more missions. So let's open up the campaign editor scene and we'll try to create some more missions. Let's run the script. There we go. Alright, first I need to create a new block that is distinguishable from the other block we have. So let's create some new block data and select the new block prefab. And we're just going to select one of the other looking ones. I think this is one from the second column. Just for now I'm going to pick this one, I think. It's desert block 5, so I think I picked the right one. Alright, so as you can see, it's pretty white. It's the snow level. It also has some water. I'm not going to do extensive level designing here. I'm just going to throw something in there, so for testing. I'm going to throw in a mammoth, I think. Oh, let's do 2. And what else could work? Yeah, I think I have some snowy trees even. Oh, yeah, well, it's a bit weird looking. Okay. What else can we do? Maybe an enemy. A drone. Maybe another one. Another one. So, okay, for now that's fine. I'm going to save it. I'm calling it Voxel block 5. Oh, I already had one. Probably for testing. Alright, so I'm going to create a mission with this block, this new block, new mission. I'm going to call it Voxel Mission 2. I'm not sure if this is the correct name. I'm not sure how I named the first one, but it doesn't matter for now. So I'm going to add some blocks. I'm going to add another one. Alright, there we go. It's a bit of a boring mission, but for now it's fine. We can change it later on. Alright, I'm going to save it. Let's just call it Voxel Mission 2. Going to level, load level data. Which was the one we were testing on? I think it must have been this one. So, okay. I'm not sure. No, this is not, the name is not correct. Alright, never mind. I'm just gonna add a new mission. I'm going to add the mission we just created, which is actually called Voxel Mission 2. And I think the name isn't set properly. So let's just Voxel test level, something like that. Alright. So now we have these 2 missions set up, and if everything works correctly, or like I wanted to, you would go from the first mission we created into the second mission. So let's see if that works. Well, to be honest, I already know that we're going to run into a problem. We're going to see the mission select panel, and we don't want that. So we need to disable that first. And we created a bool for that. It's in the game script. Campaign data, and here we have skip mission select. So here you can of course also specify your level, which we did, and use custom start level, but then you have to select skip mission select, so we will automatically move from the results panel into the next mission. So let's try if that, let's see if that works.
Welcome to the fantasy zone.
I'll just mute the audio for now. So this is the first mission we created. Now I'm going to cheat by pressing K. Oh, cheats aren't active, so I really have to not die. Ha! Oh, maybe I can just activate the cheats on the fly. I'm not sure. Let's just see if that would work. Should work. Cheats. Yeah, there we go. Mission complete. Alright, now if I press continue, we should automatically move into mission 2. So fingers crossed. Alright, there we are, mission 2. That worked pretty well. Alright. Okay. Well, next I'm going to create a couple of more missions. I think I want to have 4 in total. And then I'm going to create some sort of flow that when you've completed the 4 missions, you're taken back to the menu and the game is reset so you can start again at mission 1. But as I said, first let's create 2 more missions. Going to create a new mission. Going to name it Voxel Mission 3. Oh yeah, before I forget, it's important that you fill in the number here. So if this is going to be your 3rd mission, make sure you update it here. I've already updated it for the Voxel Mission 2, so please do that. Okay, that's it. So hopefully now we can run all 4 missions. So let's just give it a quick test. Alright. So this is the first one. I'll just cheat to the next. Continue. Then we get the snow level. Also looking fine. Let's cheat to the next one. So don't forget to make the snow level, the snow mission, sorry, to make that mission number 2. Alright, the robots with the gray background. That's just fine, I think. And yeah, well, what color is that? Salmon pink. That's looking fine as well. Alright, okay. So when we're completing this mission, I wanted to show maybe a victory text or congratulations or something like that. And then when I press the button, or maybe even we're going to change the button, I want to be taken back to the menu so I can start over. I'm not even sure what will happen when I press continue, but I'm guessing a random level will be generated. Let's just, I'm really not sure, or maybe just everything is going to crash. I don't know. Alright, I think we're in some sort of bonus mission of the original game now. Alright, never mind, we're gonna fix it. So the most obvious place to make these changes would be the results panel itself. So let's open it up. There it is. I'm gonna activate it here. So what I want is to have a text here and a different button below. So let's start with the text I'm adding. I think I already have something like that in the game panel. Here, the information thing. I'm copying that and just adding it over here. And I'm going to name it Victory. Alright. So, and there's 2 components. It has like these 2 objects with text. One header and one with the header where it says level 1 out for justice and the description below. So I'm going to, well, let's make it a little bit smaller. Just say victory. It doesn't even have X localize yet. I could just add that very quickly just to... Alright, victory text. I usually copy this. So this is a temporary one. It will be replaced by the one inside the localization. So let's just quickly add something to the localization. Results, let's just say victory text equals victory. And then we'll have maybe we'll call it the congratulations text. Let's just say, well done, you've saved the fantasy zone from evil. Now take a well-deserved holiday. I'm going to enter a line break. Alright, so let's just save this in the English US text file. And I'm going to, here in the description text, so here we'll have the congratulations stuff. So X localize, and here's the key, I copy paste that. Alright, it's a bit too high, I want it underneath the mission complete. And what you could do to test if the text will fit is just copy it in there temporarily, because sometimes you never know. Alright, it doesn't take it like that, so I have to manually do that. Yeah, just as I thought, the line spacing is not very neat, so let's do it like that. Going to, alright, do a couple of quick changes that looks just a little bit nicer. Alright, so that's okay, that's fine as it is. Now we're gonna create a new button. I'll duplicate the continue button and I'll just say results OK button. So alright, it should say OK. OK button text. I'm not sure if it's here already, but just to make sure I'm going to add it there as well. Alright. Oh yeah, the OK button is of course lower in the hierarchy, so there it is. Okay, so that's set up properly, but of course the results panel doesn't know what to show yet. So I need to create something in code that enables or disables that stuff. And I'm going to do that now. So I'm opening up the results panel script. Every major and important panel has its own script, as you know. So, and I think we've been here already. So we're going to the skip sequence part, because the skip in the sequence all the buttons and elements are displayed, and in the skip sequence bit everything we forgot to enable is enabled anyway. So if you were to skip it, it just enables all the stuff that is listed here. So here you see the results continue button is being activated. So we need to change something here. First we need to test if this was the last mission. So if we need to show the victory, so I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to create a new bool called victory, and that equals let's just test if the current mission equals the amount of missions we have in the level. So let's just say mission dot current mission data dot number. So that's the number I was talking about earlier. If that equals level dot current level dot let's just say missions, so that's the list of missions that is specified in the level dot count. Alright, I think this makes sense. Then we're gonna find the victory screen, or the victory text. Just going to copy paste that. Just type in victory here and activate it or deactivate it depending on victory. And I'm going to do that as well for the results button and the results OK button. Well, hang on, the results continue button should not be enabled when victory is true, so I'll just add an exclamation mark there. So OK, I think this looks pretty good. The next thing I want to do is really process what happens when you press the results OK button, because that's not defined yet. So we need to take this string here and add it as a button. So, well, in the interface script, first of course you'll look for the results continue button, because that's a great place to add this new functionality. And you could just say, okay, I'm adding a new button here, so you'll just say, okay, results, right, results, okay button. Need to make sure you type it correctly. So now you have a new entry, and what should happen, I've prepared this already, so I'm pasting this in now, hopefully. Well, if the pasting would work. I have this little pasting problem. So what should happen when you press the results OK button is that it needs to set the last selected mission of current level to 0, meaning the first 0 as an index, so the first mission, and then it should rebuild the mission. Might be a bit technical, so I won't really go into that, but this really generates the background and the mission again behind the scenes. So when you start up again, when you press play in the menu, it has the correct mission already loaded and set up. So these are the two important lines to restart. And then it should deactivate the results panel, do a fade, start the menu again, invoke the quitting of the mission. Oh, here it says delayed retry, so I'm not sure if things are being done double. If I did everything correctly, now at the end of mission 4 we should be taken back to the main menu after pressing the button, and then we should be able to restart. So let's give that a try. I'm cheating, by the way, pressing K all the time. Alright, victory text, congratulations text. Okay, I think there's something wrong with the localization that's not available yet, but I'll check into that later. For now, I'm just going to press the button and see if it works. I think I already saw like the green background. Okay. I think this is okay. If you know the original Space Harrier game, you might recall that it's actually a third-person shooter. So you look at the action from behind, and in our game it's more like Crossy Road and Operation Desert Road. You look at the action from above. I thought it would be nice to show you guys how to change it to be a third-person game. So if you've seen the other tutorial, you've already spotted that I changed the camera a bit in one of the tutorials to show you how that looks like. And now I'm going to do it for real because it's going to be fun and shows you just a little bit of extra functionality. So I'm playing the game right now. I've paused it, and we're going to take a look at the camera object and the camera script. So it's located here. It has a target as a parent, but don't mind that. So here's the camera, and it contains the camera script, which determines the location and the camera behavior. So this is the most important script for the view that we have. So we can change these parameters at runtime and just see what it does. So you can see here that the Harrier, so our player character, is the target. That's what the camera is looking at. The lerp factor is it handles the smoothness of the camera movement. The camera target is its parent. This is the one that's yeah, I think it's so the camera target is in fact the object at which the camera is looking, and like I said, it's positioned on the target specified here, the Harrier, but it takes this offset into account. So you can look in front of the Harrier player or above, or so you can set an offset here as well. But this is the most important variable. This is the location at which the camera itself should be positioned. So this is the target, what we're looking at, and this is the position of the camera itself. So now at this moment it's x5, y25, z minus 12.5. So that means like a little bit to the right, as you can see, way up high in the sky and behind. So the minus means behind the player. We want to change that. This is the most important parameter to change, and we're going to say, okay, I want to be straight behind the player. I want to be like a little bit up in the sky, and I want to be more behind him. So if I go to the next frame, you will already see that it's changed. So that's important. This is very important to change if you want to change the whole look of the game. And for now, I don't like the field of view of the camera, so that's something we need to change as well. So I don't like it. I want it to be different, more like this or more like that. So somewhere between 30 and 40 would be okay. But actually, when we hit play now, the camera is reset again. So we need to do that in scripting, and here's where it might get a little bit difficult for people not familiar with scripting, but it's not that hard to change if you know where to look, and I'm helping you with that. So you need to open up the mission script, because this is where the camera script is created, and you can find the mission script inside campaign data mission. You open that up, and somewhere in the middle you will see that the camera script is created, and even that this camera script is a function within that camera script is being called. And this is where we need to make our adjustments. Let's just run it. So what this does is, after the camera script is created, it overrides some public variables. So let's save it. It's going to compile, and let's see what it does. All right. No, this is exactly what we wanted. Okay. So one more thing we need to change is that, as you know, we have different missions, and the missions shouldn't all have like this yellow background. That wouldn't be very cool. I want different backgrounds for my different missions. So as you might have spotted, the yellow color is the background color of the camera, and we can set that dynamically through the camera initialization stuff we changed just now as well. So we're heading back to that script to change the colors of the backgrounds for each mission. So okay. Right. Through the camera script, I can access the camera it's attached to. So camera script.camera is going to be the camera component, and I need to set the background color to the background color we had here. So alright, pretty quick fix. Save it. Right, okay. There's the color I had defined. Now let's take a look at the next level, or excuse me, the next mission. Yeah, okay, it's looking fine as well. Alright. Alright, that wraps up all the functionality changes I had in mind. One more thing left to do to wrap up this video is to create a new standalone build of what we created. So before I can do that, I need to check my game script variables again to make sure that everything is reset. I want to show the menu. I want to show get ready, platform, standalone, that's okay. State, I don't need to be there. I don't want the badge. I want the splash screen, which is pretty cool. This is all fine for now. Settings, load and save settings data, that's fine. Alright, I don't want tutorial, I don't like it. Maybe I'll just keep cheats enabled for now, that's fine. English, I want music. Alright, I want sound effects as well. Alright, that's okay. User, don't want this on. Harrier, okay. For now that's fine. I think I'll give it a quick run just to check if everything is set correctly. I see the splash screen. So that works for me. I'm just going to create a build and see what happens. Build settings, we're back here. Again, make sure the game scene is included. Player settings, I'm going to disable the dialogue and just run at 1280 720 full screen. Native resolution is maybe better to use. Oh, I don't have an icon. Oh my god, that's bad. I should have created one. No, we'll just have the ODR icon for now. Alright, let's just build it. Alright, I'm going to create a new folder. New, alright, voxel Harrier. And hit save.
Welcome to the Fantasy Zone.
Alright, that looked okay.
Welcome to the Fantasy Zone.
So I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for watching the tutorial videos, and of course also for getting the full game kit Operation Desert Road. I hope it inspires you to create something beautiful and original. I'm looking forward to seeing your feedback and issues with the full game kit. For now, this is it. I might be doing another video if the need comes up. But thank you all, and bye bye.